What is up, guys? Hello and welcome. You can probably tell from the title, but today I will finally be answering the question that every new player asks. This is the Danny question. What can I do to make the most money? So today I'm going to be breaking down the hourly income for all of the level 1 jobs in Transport Tycoon. If you are interested in the hourly income for starter trucking jobs, I have actually covered those in a separate video that I've already posted. It'll be linked in the card as well as in the description. You can go check that out if you're interested in that. And be sure to subscribe and keep an eye out because I will be doing a breakdown for all of the trucking routes as well as all of the jobs at level 100. I am also planning on actually going through and redoing all of my tutorials and actually including a level 1 to 100 breakdown for income and XP. So if there's any jobs that you're interested, let me know in the comments and I will cover those sooner rather than later. And I do actually have a few things to note before getting started. I did have daily income from player level 100 that is included in all of the jobs. So it should even out, and I think the level 100 player income is like 20k or something like that. Like it's not a whole lot, so it evens out between all of them. And when possible, vehicles were 25% speed boosted, and I did not actually include that 250k in the hourly amount. So there are 32 jobs in Transport Tycoon, including the specialized jobs. To start off, there are actually 6 jobs that have no hourly income or they are not available at level 1. So these will all be tied for 27th place. So starting off with the jobs that are not available at level 1, you have Beach Cleaner, which requires level 32 garbage due to the vehicles being removed. Whenever all of the licensed vehicles had to be removed, it was made so that you had to be level 72 to do Beach Cleaner, so that will be left off this list. Aerial Firefighter requires Firefighter level 40 and Airline Pilot level 40, so it will also be left off the list. And lastly, Quarry Worker is not possible to do solo at level 1. It requires level 50 to run the excavator, and I wanted all of these jobs to be solo level 1. So for example, with Coast Guard, I did that solo, even though you can do it co-op. So Quarry Worker will be left off of this list too. Now, for the jobs that do not actually have any income. Currently, farming does not currently earn money directly, so it will be $0. Land Surveyor also has no payment for completing the missions, but I should note that you get skill level tokens and strength XP tokens, which can be sold on the marketplace or to other players, but neither of them sell for that much, and you don't get a lot of them from completing the missions. So it's sort of a negligible amount. Also considering how long the Land Surveyor missions actually take, having to drive all around the map. And then lastly, Street Racer has no income for completing the races. You can use it to convert business cash stacks, but I'm not going to count that on this list because that is not direct income. And speaking of business, it's kind of in its own category. It's not really a job, so it will not be included on this job income list. But if you are interested, you can buy the Wenger Institute at level 1, which can make you 2.59k per real life day, so it's about $110 an hour, so it is a negligible amount. Now onto the list of jobs that actually do have an income. Coming in at number 26, but also number 1, is Posttop Driver. It is in last place because by default you make no money off of completing the route. However, you do get paid in post-stop bonus XP. So using the post-stop mule with 25% boost, I was able to get 5,536 bonus XP in an hour, and maybe in an extra 5 or 10 minutes I was able to complete the entire route and get 8,606 on completion. So you get, I think it's like 2,000 or something, or 2,500 for actually completing the route. So with efficient driving and no distractions, you could actually probably complete the entire route within an hour. And so if you were to sell the post-op bonus XP to another player, which currently the going rate is about 9,500 to 10k, using the 10k price just for the easy math, you can make about 55,360,000 or 88,060,000 per hour, which blows all of the other jobs out of the water. But this does require the use of the marketplace or selling to other players, so it's in last place with 0 direct income, but if you do want to include selling the bonus XP, it's in first. So I'll let you guys decide which you want to count it as. Coming in at number 25 is Hunter. I made $5,107, and I think that's only thanks to the daily player income. Otherwise, it would be negative. I was able to complete 2 missions in an hour, both using Hunter's formula and driving the contender with 25% boost. So the cost to convert the animals to meat is even with what you make from selling the meat, at least at level 1. I think that if you got lucky and had more deer locations, you actually probably could break even or go past breaking even and actually start making money off of this. And then coming in at number 24 is Prospecting. This one is very luck based. Over a few hours, I was averaging about 294,398 per hour. If you got lucky, you can make a lot more. Also, if you include selling certain things on the marketplace or to other players like SD cards, you could make even more than that. It's just entirely dependent on your luck. But for me, it came in at number 24. In 23rd place is Bus Driver, which is notorious for not being well paid, at least in the beginning. I was able to average 296,715 per hour, so just barely beating out Prospecting. Coming in 22nd place is Airline Pilot. I was actually expecting this to be higher, but at level 1, I guess it's not that great, but you do unlock new planes pretty quickly, so you can get more pay fairly quickly. More or less every couple of stops you're able to upgrade your plane. So with Airline Pilot, I was making 297,108. This would also be dependent on which airports you had as your drop-offs, so you could be slightly higher or lower just depending on what kind of luck you had there. Coming in 21st is Pizza Delivery. This could be higher if you had one of the pizza delivery vehicles. I actually wasn't able to buy any of the pizza delivery vehicles, so I was actually just doing this, filling my personal inventory and basically having to stop back at the pizza shop after pretty much every stop. So despite that, I was still able to make 323,132 an hour, putting us above the others. But I do think that if you had an actual pizza delivery vehicle, you could make quite a bit more off of this. Rounding out 20th place is IAA Delivery. This one is also likely more than what I had due to me overbuying some of the deliverables. Doing this, I was able to make 361,756, and if you're wondering what I meant by the deliverables, you have to buy things to do the deliveries, and I overbought on some of it. But if I had bought the items at a better ratio, you could make more than that. Coming in 19th is Conductor. At level 1, you're only able to do the Metro. So doing the Metro in an hour, I was able to make 370,260. This is a job where you also unlock new trains and types fairly quickly. So if you do upgrade your trains, you can make more than what I was. In 18th place is UPS Delivery, or it's also called the Courier job. So this is a subset of trucking where you pick up packages and deliver them to houses, businesses, or factories. At level 1, you're able to do deliveries to houses in Mirror Park, which luckily is actually pretty close to where you start the job and where you pick up everything. So this got a pretty significant jump from the last job. I was able to average 542,520, almost a 200K jump from the last place. Then coming in at 17th place is server repair. I did use a motorcycle spawn card to have a body to drive around on, so that cut the time down moving between the locations. And doing that, I was able to make $555,043. This one is also dependent on how much resources you buy going in. This one, I did a better job at buying the correct ratios, so just keep that in mind. If you buy your ratios correctly, you can make probably even more than what I did. So then coming in 16th place is Collins Co. Cabby. This is one of the old company jobs that is now public. This one is very dependent on where you have to take people and how often you get pickups, but I was able to average 580,152 an hour doing cabby. So then in 15th place is Cargo Pilot. This one technically requires another skill to do, that being strength level 8, but for it being so low and strength being easy to level up, I still included this on the list, unlike the others that are like level 30 or 40 that it required. I was able to make 617,264. This is another one where you get upgrades pretty quick, and you unlock new routes, so shorter routes. So as you level up, you can actually make even more than what I was. So then coming in 14th place is Firefighter. Now I used one of the default fire trucks that I just took off of the road. So if you actually did have a personal fire truck that you have upgraded, and you also had the 25% boost like I had, you can make even more than I was. But even using the default fire truck, I was able to average $727,356 an hour. So then coming in 13th place is RTS. This is the other company job that was made public after the companies were removed. So I did this with the normal RTS car deliveries. I did not do the heavy or plane deliveries. And doing that, I was able to average $734,252. This is also very dependent on where your deliveries take you and what cars you get, because if you get a fast car, you get the money quicker. Then coming in at 12th place is Coast Guard. I was doing this solo. With a group, you'll make more, but like I said, I wanted to do these jobs all solo. So doing solo, I was able to get $803,766 an hour. I got fairly lucky with having the jobs that I had be close to the docks. So depending on where you have to go, it may be higher or lower. Like if you had to go up to Paleto, you may not be able to average the same as what I was. Coming in 11th place is Helicopter Pilot. I started in Sandy, but through drop-offs about halfway, it switched me to the helipad near Vespucci. So I was sort of in two different areas for this. So doing this, I was able to make $983,802. So then, starting off our top 10, and the first job to break the 1 million mark is Garbage Collector. This is also, I was using a custom garbage truck with 25% boost. I was able to average 1,055,726. But if you got lucky with your routes being close, you could probably make more. I had quite a few that sent me down towards the Grapeseed direction, so I had to go further out for those. So you could actually probably make more than what I did, or even less if you got even unluckier than me. So then coming in at number 9 is Parking Enforcement Officer. This one is also luck-based because you get paid more for the cars that are ticketed than the ones that are just scanned. So you could make quite a bit more, quite a bit less than what I was doing. So I was able to average $1,085,783 an hour. Coming in at number 8 is Posttop Pilot. This one also has a requirement of Cargo Pilot level 5, but as with the other one, because it's a low enough level requirement, I still included it on this list. I was able to average $1,089,990 an hour, just barely beating out the Parking Enforcement Officer. Then coming in at number 7 is Dock Handler. This one surprised me because it's fairly high up on the list for what it is. I was able to average $1,387,650 an hour, which is another significant jump from the previous place. And it being the job that it is, I was surprised that it actually paid as much as it did. Then coming in 6th place is transformer repair. So I was using the Sparrow for transportation and extra storage of the parts. I used almost exactly an inventory worth in the hour. I had to take out 2 fuses from the Sparrow to complete the last stop, so you could actually do this without filling the Sparrow. Just kind of depends on what your requirements were for the stops. So the income will also depend on how much you buy up front. So in an hour, I was making about $1,589,502. Now getting into the top 5, we have EMS or Paramedic. I was using the normal ambulance and was stationed out of Central LS. With this setup, I was averaging $1,970,796. Once again, a pretty significant jump from the last. I do think that if you went out of Pillbox Hill, it's the most efficient location, so you could probably break the 2 mil mark if you were doing that. Then coming in at number 4 is Mechanic. I was using the flatbed without any tools. I was considering this as someone that is coming in with no prior setup, so didn't have any of the tools, didn't have any jerry cans or anything like that, and was stationed out of Polito. So going back and forth between there and Sandy, basically just depending on where my pickup was and where the closest drop-off was, kind of was switching me back and forth between the two. So this is actually the first job that will break the 2 mil mark. I was able to average $2,041,348 an hour. Now on to the podium. Coming in 3rd place is fishing. I was using the Tropic for storage, fishing at the Cassidy Creek location, and started with a gut knife, which I got super lucky and actually upgraded to a weightless about halfway through. So at about the 30-minute mark, I would think it was like almost smack dab on 30 minutes, it upgraded to weightless. With this, I was actually able to make $2,504,700 an hour, and actually selling the fish at the Alamo Sea location, so the one near Sandy Shores. Coming in silver is the mining in the quarry. I was using the Speedo for storage, and I was trashing anything other than sandstone, so you can occasionally get raw gold from this. I actually just trashed those if I got them, and purely went sandstone, and then traded the sandstone for raw emeralds. I actually did the math on all of the things that you can trade for, and you can make more total by trading for titanium, but I think time-wise it takes quite a bit longer to do the titanium trucking route portion of this, so it would bring your hourly income below what you can do with raw emeralds. So using the Speedo with raw emeralds, I was able to make $3,370,116 an hour. This is once again a fairly significant jump from 3rd place. I actually also originally did these top 2 jobs with the Mark 10, trailer instead of the Speedo, but I realized I should probably do the Speedo because that's actually a beginner. I do have the amount Mark 10 trailer. I was able to make $5,891,643 an hour. So if you do have a larger trailer, you can make even more than what you can with the Speedo. And then lastly, in first place, if we don't include Posttop Driver with selling bonus XP, is mineshaft mining. Once again, using the Speedo for the trucking portion, and trading the vouchers for raw ore mix, refining that to zinc and copper, and then selling the zinc and copper at the LS export. With the Speedo, I was able to make $3,597,338 an hour. And as with the last one, I did actually do this using a larger trailer. Originally did it with the Mark 10 for the trucking portion, and with that I was actually able to make $6,808,265 an hour. So using a bigger trailer actually makes a more significant difference on this one in particular, just because there's a lot more driving towards the end with converting the raw ore mix and everything. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and learned something. I will say, for those of you that are just getting into the game, or haven't been in the game for super long, and even for those of you that have been around for a while, don't think that you have to play for money. Just do the jobs that you enjoy the most. That's what you'll get the most out of the game. You don't want to burn yourself out. The money, it'll come no matter what you're doing. And then, as I said in the beginning, keep an eye out for the all trucking routes and level 100 breakdowns. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.